What's up, everyone? Welcome to whatever the hell I'm doing with social media. Um, Basically, this is the life of a jaded, brutal, truth-giving, yet still with good intentions, wanting to motivate, inspire, but not be I don't know, soft and ignorant. Uh, OCD guy. Um, so today's topic. One of the things I was actually talking to a buddy about this today. How, and I don't know the answer to this, and this isn't some like passive aggressive thing towards any friends or family or significant other. Um, but I was messaging a buddy of mine, a longtime friend of mine on Marco Polo app, and we were talking about how basically the background is I've worked out since 1993 in the morning before school started. So it was always early in the morning. Obviously there's been some scheduling or logistical reasons that I couldn't work out in the morning, but pretty much that's been my default. And if I can't, it's only because of some crazy anomaly. But by and large, I always worked out in the morning before the day started. And that, as you can imagine, runs into a lot of logistical issues as far as making sure you go to bed and making sure you get your compensatory sleep and all that. And it's not the most conducive experience for living with people or living around people or with people and existing in the world we live in. And I ran into it a lot, and it occurred to me, and I've never really formulated it, but isn't it weird how, I'm not saying I'm perfect here, but isn't it weird how uh, we will respect somebody that's important in our life, we'll respect their job. If they're like, hey, I got to go to work, I got to clock in at 8, you're not going to like at 7:50 go, hey, I want to talk about bills, or hey, I want to go out drinking, or like, depending, I guess, if they're a night shift or a day drinker. You won't do that because you're like, hey, this person has a shift and they need to go. But in that scenario, the two people that know each other, uh, person A who isn't going to work is giving respect to a boss she may not even know, more to do as a for a favor to this person, or for like a respect move for this person. But if the roles are such that, like, for me, what happened a lot in relationships, this actually doesn't happen with Betty. She respects me a lot and gives and really understands how I work, so props to Betty. But in past friends and relationships, if I had to go to work, they'd be like, cool, we get it. You got to go. You got to go to bed. You have a schedule. You got to clock in, whatever. But if it's a personal reason to leave, to go to bed early, or to go to the gym, for some reason, there are people, a lot of people, that will not register that as important as the job. Which, in the big picture, the job shouldn't be the thing. Shouldn't matter. Like, the person should go, oh, this is your thing, so actually I respect it more. But in my experience, especially with relationships in the past, it was respected less. For some reason, there was this subconscious, like, oh, he can be flexible because it's his thing and it's not a job clock in thing. So it's like, well, I was talking to my buddy on Marco Polo going, so wait, what? So I have to have this be a job for you to respect me going, hey, I got to go to bed, or hey, I got to go to the gym at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning. But if it's for my personal reasons, it's F you. Don't, you must flex for me. Just find that weird. I don't know. Getting old, getting cranky, getting tired. Um, yeah, I've luckily met a person who works that way. In fact, we have pretty opposite sleep schedules, and I go to bed a couple hours early. She does she works out at home. She'll do her home workout. She hangs out with her cats, and while I'm in bed, we don't go to bed at the same time, and it's not detrimental to the relationship. Um, it's a weird way. It actually creates a set, um, I don't know, distinct time where we can actually guilt-free be in the same house and actually have two different, have our alone time, whatever that may be. So it's kind of nice in a weird way. But I don't know. What do you guys all think about that? I find that weird that, and that's been across the board. I'm just using working out and a job that you clock in out as kind of a template example. But that's obviously for me, it's a little, all right, old and tired. But for me, that's obviously, for anybody who's been with me or knows me, like that's obviously my reference point that's pretty damned accurate in that I've worked out in the morning and I've always taken it really importantly. Particularly when I lived in California, and it's a city that's a little bit more busy and an industry that's a little bit more busy, and I prioritized work, dream chasing, and sleep and gym, and nothing else. I wouldn't allow anything else to change that, and it came at the cost of strained friendships, definitely strained and broken relationships. I remember one individual, I won't name names, but this individual, using working out as an example and job as an example for this odd, I don't know this, I don't want to say people are hypochondriacs, but this odd double standard. Whereas if it's for a person's employer, they'll respect the person, but if it's for a person's personal reasons, they'll be like, oh, put your needs aside for me. But in my past, in this one example, what happened was, this person was very, I want to say, kind of infatuated with my body. She liked my body, and that's an awesome compliment. Why is this so I was like, that's awesome. That's a huge compliment. Thank you. But ironically, when it came to how I got that body, i.e., eating healthy, going to bed, working out, when that encroached, is that the right word? Encroached on our time together, hanging out, going on dates or whatever, it was a bad thing. And I wanted to say, how the hell do you think I got the way that I look to, acquire a mate, if you will? Yet now you at 5 p.m. need, beer and nachos and go to the bar. Just weird. And it's a running thing. I think obviously anybody who knows me knows, like, I have a fitness industry satellite involvement in it. So I use it as like a lot of my, I don't know, kind of my litmus tests and reference points for like life's greater challenges or or discipline and desire. It's kind of all applicable, and I've always stand by that. So it's kind of like, well, wait, if it's important to somebody, and that's what attracted you to them, and in this case, it's aesthetics and gym and discipline. But I find it funny that when it starts to actually like hinder or inconvenience the other parties, that it's all of a sudden a bad thing. And I say this a lot, and this is a side tangent, but people are always saying, like, in successful industries, like, you'll hear it a lot. I'm not going to name names or quote people, but sorry, I'm a little low. Let's get this chair up. They'll say stuff like, "Oh, I wish I would have stopped and smelled the roses or spent more time with my family." And great messages. Would they be where they're at had they done that? I argue no. The reason they are super successful athletes or millionaires or Hollywood celebrities or whatever, I argue they are what they are because I'm not saying it's right. Who knows if it is? Is there really right and wrong? But I argue that because they sacrificed time with friends, time with family, had 4 divorces or whatever to get to that level of success, did it take that to become that? You know, this infuriates the shit out of me, but had they listened to the little cool huggy bullcrap advice they want to give people now, had they listened to that advice back then, they wouldn't be the successes they are now. Had Mr. Millionaire in every movie guy listen to him, his 55 or 60-year-old self now saying, you know, stop, smell the roses, you know, spend time with your family, he wouldn't own Hollywood, because he would have chosen, right, wrong, or indifferent, to spend time with his family. So it's kind of like, what would you like? It's admirable until it's an inconvenient, and then it's this weird futuristic role reversal, retro hypocrisy, where if they actually did what they say they should have done, they wouldn't be where they are. And then it's a weird, it's like it's a, to me, conundrums are linear, and in this case it's like a three dimensional conundrum, in that they sacrificed all their relationships and intimate times with their family and their kids or whatever it is to become super successful. And in theory, that would create freedom that a lot of us don't know. So then they can play catch up in a life that they never could have done if they stayed with their version of a boring 9 to 5 job, because, you know, they'd be broke or living tight and things would be tight. So, but now that they're super successful, they can provide a life that never would have happened before. So it's like that scale, that better, you know, pro con thing is it's like this always evolving. I don't know. Yeah, it's just it's a sliding scale that's always evolving, and it's a fascinating conundrum. And I kind of get sick of how it's certain traits or certain attributes or certain things, and this goes across the board. This isn't just all about me. I see this with other people too, in their lives and with their friends or family or loved ones. How it's all great and admirable until it inconveniences you, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, your discipline annoys me or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? So that is today's, I don't know, deep thoughts by a jaded old OCD guy who's trying to be brutally honest without being bitching and whining, which it's kind of a close, they're kind of close cousins, but it is what it is, as much as I hate that phrase. So comment, questions below. I'm curious your thoughts as to how you know, how do you navigate that scenario one, where people will respect your schedule if it's for work or an employment, or, you know, set hard deadlines, but for some reason there's this unspoken subconscious expectation that you, if it's for your personal stuff that's not on the clock, that it's supposed to be flexible, when in fact, in my opinion, if it's your personal thing, we are more important than our jobs. Yes, jobs put food on the table. Trust me, anybody who knows me, money and jobs are highly, like, they keep me alive, and only because I'm lacking do I truly know how much I need them. But like, in the grand scheme of things, what provided our paycheck does not matter. So you almost you would think you would respect the person more than their boss. You know, like, I love people in my life, but, and their bosses, and this could be close family, friends. Like, in fact, I'll actually use some close friends who I don't even know who their bosses are. Yeah, I'll respect them because my friend respects their job to clock in and be on time to work. But I don't give a shit about that boss. Like, I don't wish him harm, but I care about my friend. So if my friend cares about the job to clock in, I care. But I find it, how do you all navigate that? And number two, what are your thoughts and comments when it comes to the people who are giant successes, but it was at a cost? You know, what are your thoughts on that? Because it's a very I read an article many years ago on like top brain surgeons. They studied them or something, and I'm bastardizing the article at this point, but it was something along the lines of amazing brain surgeons have the statistics are off the charts when it comes to divorce and affairs and adultery, all these things, like just horrible things, but they are the best, like they have, they're narcissistic, they're depressed, they have anxiety, they have probably, they're on the spectrum in a way, they have AD, like the fallout from being the best as a brain surgeon was off the charts, but they're the best at what they do as a result. Now, this isn't healthy for them, but I say I want the neurotic, God complex, narcissistic a-hole who has had 3 divorces, 5 affairs, who's the best brain surgeon in the world fixing my brain if I need it. I don't want the person who put family first and is this kind of a decent brain surgeon, and doesn't have all these traumas that led him to make all those horrible social life decisions, because the other guy's working hard and burned out, and it's just, it causes all these this poor decision cascade fallout thing. I don't want the person that dabbles in brain surgery but has a healthy family life. Hopefully that edits out. So yeah, thoughts, concerns, comments. Please like, subscribe, share all the stuff people say. I'm told that I have something to offer, and that I could make money doing it. I enjoy whatever I do, but it's kind of up to y'all to prove this algorithm thing to me wrong, because I don't believe it. So that is my thoughts. Like I said, appreciate your time. Comment, share, like, subscribe, yada yada yada, and that's all I got. Take care.